Not all places are equal. Some destinations change you quietly, while others crack something wide open. And you don't even realize it happened until you're on the plane ride home and it hits you. Something has shifted in me. Why did that place feel different? Why did I feel so different there? The truth is, environment is everything. Certain places know things. They hold history, energy, and stories. And when you enter them, you feel it. And if you let them, they will work on you. We are talking all about the hidden power of place and why where you go might matter more than we think. Today on Bucket List Retreats, the podcast. Hello, dreamers, believers, and bucket list retreaters. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your hostess, Kelly Morgan Murley. And if you are new here, welcome. We are so happy to have you in on the conversation all about retreating. We talk all about retreats, of course, transformation, travel, and the subtle shift that changes you when you intentionally step out of your life and into something different. I hope you all have had a great week. We are happy to be back. I did have a week off because we ended up having so much weather, and I'm sure most of you around the country of the United States of America. I know that we do have a few international listeners, and hello to all of you, and thank you for being here. Anyhow, we had obligation to get to our granddaughter's 7th birthday, and then Mother Nature blew in, which is not unexpected at all because when she was born 7 years ago, it was the same story. We got so much snow here in northern Arizona. Luckily, we made it there, no problem. We waited till later in the day. The roads were clear and we had a great ride over and ride back. She lives about 3 hours away, my daughter and family. It was so good to celebrate her turning 7 years old from 6 to 7. So, of course, we went all through that. I made her the cutest sweatshirt. If you are watching on YouTube, I will put it in one of these corners for you to check out. Let us know if you need any shirts for your group or your retreat or your granddaughter. Check out our store at bucketlistrretreats.etsy.com. I just got in this shirt that says retreat and it has a really fast heartbeat in the beginning, retreat in the middle, and then a calm heartbeat at the end. It's a shirt that I design and sell on Etsy, and I'll put a link to that in the description. I just love this brand of t-shirts. It's so soft and cozy. I didn't wash it yet. I did stick it in my steam dryer and just to take out all the wrinkles. But it's so soft and so nice. And I'm just tickled to get it, to tell you the truth. I always like checking out the product. And today I am back to drinking hot lemon honey water, which I think is my favorite tea. It is so good on the throat and it just feels fantastic. It's still been super dry here, even though we did have that snowstorm. And my skin has been so dry and my throat has been so dry. And I think I'm going to be on lemon water until for sure majorly springtime, right up until summer. And I may just keep doing it after that. Who knows? Let me know in the comments what your drink of choice is right now as we get through the final leg of winter. And I know that so many of you out there on the East Coast have been through so much in Midwest. Oh my gosh, I know it's just been freezing and tons of snow, and you are all just hanging out, just hanging in there. It's so cool. I did watch my favorite YouTuber, Tara Michelle. She is down in Florida visiting her parents and her grandmother. And of course, Florida looks absolutely beautiful. And so is Southern Arizona, to tell you the truth. It is beautiful down there. I just happen to live up in the mountains where we have a lot of wind and a lot of weather. And it's really part of the fun because I have a view of about 50 miles or so that I can see these big storms coming, and it's just magnificent. It is out on the Wild West Plains of the United States of America. It's really fantastic. And I have a picture of my dad over here. You can't really see me very well in there, but I'm standing next to him. And his birthday was yesterday. He would have been 87 years old. And I just always feel his presence so much during this time of year. The funniest thing happened. I don't usually eat much of a breakfast every morning, and it's not until my husband decides to cook us something about, 10:30 that I eat. But I was hungry yesterday morning, and he had already had a bowl of cereal or something, and I said, "Well, I'm just gonna make myself a bowl of milk toast." I don't know if you guys know what that is or if it is the same thing in where you live, or if you might even call it something else, but you just fry up an egg and throw it on a piece of toast and put it in a bowl and cover it with warm milk. And it is something my dad used to make for me whenever I wasn't feeling good. And I don't know why I just had this feeling actually to have that milk toast yesterday morning, but it was right as I was making it and thinking of him that I realized it was his birthday. Of course, I knew his birthday was coming up, but I hadn't really put two and two together yet. Yesterday morning. So that was just such a fun thing. I always feel him close to me really most of the time, and that's such a wonderful feeling. I miss my dad so much. I always say, what are girls supposed to do without their daddies? It's the worst. But whenever it's his birthday, I know that spring is right around the corner. And did you guys see that the groundhog in the United States said that there was 6 more weeks of winter, and the groundhog in Canada said there wasn't? So there was a little discrepancy there between us and Canada, which I don't like at all because I love Canada and love, love, love. It does seem like ever since Groundhog's Day, it has gotten really, really stormy. And February often does that. The biggest storms don't always seem to come in the early, November, December. They really hit in the late winter, February and March. So let's hope we all make it through, huh? I know it's been so tough to so many people. Let me know where you guys are listening in from in the comments and what type of weather you've been going through this winter. I love hearing everyone's stories. And if you're stuck inside, it makes some great time for retreat planning, doesn't it? Whether you are putting together a retreat or going on a retreat, looking for a retreat. So thank you again for joining me. I love talking all about retreats. And today we are talking about a topic that is kind of like the backdrop to a retreat. And that is location. You see a lot of retreats offer it mainly as scenery, a pretty view, a pin on a mat, an Instagram location. Don't think I'm above that though. I love Instagram shots. In reality, though, it can be the most powerful part of the entire experience because you and I both know not all places are equal. Some places soothe you, some places energize you, some stretch you, and some open in ways you totally didn't expect. And if you've ever left a retreat or a city or country or even just a long weekend away and thought, I don't know what happened there, but something changed. Something shifted. That is why today we are diving into the hidden power place, why environment can be absolutely everything, why some places feel different, and why sometimes the most transformative part of a retreat isn't what you were taught. It's where you are. But first, as always, we are diving into retreat news and reviews. Today in Retreat News, we are talking about this article at comonews.com that just came out on February 20th. New adults only retreat opening on Washington's Olympic Peninsula. And it really is more of a news story than it is an article. So let's listen in to what they have to say. I actually found the video over on YouTube, and it is a lot easier to see without all of the ads. And as usual, there will be links in the description. Let's listen about this new retreat center on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State.
All right, in need of a romantic getaway, there's a new adults-only retreat opening on Washington's Olympic Peninsula this spring.
Menenzi blends luxury camping, private saunas, and immersive forest experience. Just steps from Olympic National Park. Joining the conversation now is founder and steward Janice Wilson to share how this design-forward getaway is redefining rest in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and congrats on your new business and property. This is so cool.
Thank you so much. I'm huge fans of you both. I'm thrilled to be here this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, and love your hair,
sweet.
by the way. So what inspired you to create this retreat, and why did you choose Washington's Olympic Peninsula as the perfect setting for it?
Olympic National Park speaks for itself, right? I mean, it's America's emerald crown jewel. It's rugged, it's primal, it's gorgeous. So yeah, why wouldn't you put a luxury campground next to the Olympic National Park? In terms of the inspiration, my husband and I, we love to do dispersed camping, getting away, getting off grid, being immersed in nature is just a beautiful thing, but it's work, right? You got to find that perfect campsite. You got to pack in, you got to pack out. It takes time to get to the goodness. We tried the other end of the spectrum, which is, the glam grounds. And that was not what was expected. There was no nature. The earth was shorn of any sort of vegetation. And instead of being surrounded by nature, you're surrounded by this white sea of canvas tent. It felt more like a Civil War reenactment. So Menenzi was our sweet spot. It's our ideal base camp of being ensconced in nature, but also having those creature comforts. I mean, who doesn't want a heated floor when you're taking a shower?
That sounds fabulous.
Janice, I got to tell you, this is right up my boyfriend's and my alley. I mean, this just looks fantastic. I would love to. As Tyra mentioned, this is described as adults-only luxury camping. So how does this experience sort of differ from traditional camping or even other glamping options, if you will, in the region?
Yeah, I mean, we can start with the fact that Menenzi, each of the base camps is perched in a coastal rainforest overlooking the Salish Sea. So that's definitely a distinguishing factor. But also, in addition to the luxury of Mother Nature, you have these bathhouses created by a local architectural firm called Gossi, who created these stunning bathhouses that are really case studies of biophilia, right? Bringing the outdoors in. And so you bring all of that together and you have, like you said, this adult-only exclusive retreat in the middle of paradise.
Wow. And there's something at Menenzi called forest cocooning, which is a term that you coined. Can you tell us what that means and how it shapes the experience from arrival to departure?
Yeah, absolutely. Think of forest cocooning as forest bathing, but for couples, right? I mean, there's so much hustle, right? You've got the endless Zoom calls, you've got like extraneous meetings, the relentless task list. And so what we really want to do is we want to disconnect couples from that urban grind, bring them to Menenzi, allow them to connect to each other and connect to nature.
I love that. I'm just loving this whole thing. I really am. Any other things that you guys offer that might be a little special for couples?
Yeah, we offer campfire gastronomy. One of guest favorites is what we call our Black Label hot dog. We actually fly in caviar the night before their stay. And if you haven't had a charred hot dog over a campfire a hot dog that you've cooked, smothered in caviar, you're missing out.
Wait, excuse me? Okay, I'm sold.
Oh my God.
I'm sold. Can you tell us how architecture and design played a role in the feeling of, the whole layout and just the feeling of escape?
Yeah. Yeah, as I mentioned, we work with the architectural firm Go See, who created the bathhouses that you're seeing. And one of the assignments was we want folks to feel a constant and also connected to nature. So when you see the bathhouse, you see these large picture windows, these beautiful skylights with the towering conifers overhead. And you just get this like perfect blend, right, of feeling safe and protected and sheltered, but also feeling a part of nature.
Mm.
Janice, before we let you go, I have to ask, how do you book a stay there? And can you give us kind of a price range that we're talking about here?
Sure, sure. So you can book at Menizei, MENIZEI.com. And there's a reserve button right in the header. And yeah, prices vary, but they can range from $600 to $750 per night.
Sounds fabulous. And I honestly would do this as a solo getaway as well.
Too,
yeah, go by myself.
Yeah.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for joining us,
Thank
and
you so
congrats
much.
again.
This sounds absolutely lovely, doesn't it? I love the Pacific Northwest. It's one of my favorite places on the earth. I got the joy of living just out of Seattle for a couple of years at one time, and I absolutely loved it. My dad did take us camping out at the Olympic Forest. So let's check out their website. It's right here under Menizei. I wonder where they got the name from. Your romantic getaway begins at Menizei. It would be interesting to know. I know a lot of retreat centers name their retreat centers something beautiful like that, and I always like to hear where the name came from. And I wonder if they are doing any retreats. But we will put a link to their website on our show notes so you can find it right there. They do have a couple of other beautiful videos on their website that are worth watching. It's a lovely area. And, I'm just wondering about the food too. That hot dog sounds kind of good, except I'm not huge on caviar, are you? And those retreat centers look really beautiful. And I wonder if they are hosting any retreats. It doesn't say so right as you hop on their website, but it would be something to look into. I do love the idea of a retreat center that is adult only, romantic, and not necessarily luxury, but also luxury. It seems like the focus is on the mood, the atmosphere, and sensory experience, letting this place guide the transformation. It seems like it would really deepen the presence and experience, a real connection to the location. You can just imagine the natural reset you would have here. Forest and coastline, green, which we know how good green is for our senses. And that type of quiet, it lets your nervous system recalibrate naturally. It's some great retreat news for couples, isn't it? And maybe for a group. All right, let's move on to retreat reviews. And while I searched high and low for a couples retreat that I thought sounded fun, that wasn't really about working on fixing a broken marriage, but more about the joy of being together, I couldn't find one in the searching that I was doing. So if you know of one, if you would put it in the notes below. So I did stumble across this retreat, which sounds absolutely beautiful. It is the Ultimate Women's Wellness Retreat, Luxury Healing and Starting to Live Your Best Life. What really drew my attention is that she sold out the first one and had to open a second one. This is in Scottsdale, Arizona, October 1st through 5th, 2026. You won't leave a different person. You will leave as the best version of yourself, the person you were always meant to be. The result will be a complete and lasting overhaul of your health, inside and out. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Reclaim your radiance, a luxurious woman's wellness retreat, because it's time to prioritize you. Do you feel like you fill everyone else's bucket while yours is left empty? Are you going through are you going through a life change? Do you want to move past a negative event, resentment, something that is holding you back? Do you want to learn about and experience life-changing protocols that will bring you both physically and mental transformations? Then keep reading because this retreat has it all. But I will, of course, put it in the show notes. So be sure to go there to get a link to this retreat. And you can watch this video. And while you're down there, subscribe to this show. If you are finding it interesting, we would love to have you be a subscriber. And if you are listening on Spotify and follow the show, we appreciate that as well. And all of you will get notices when the new shows come out, usually Friday about noon Pacific time. Really, it's Mountain Standard Time. I shouldn't say Pacific time. Sometimes we share Pacific time, but we are Mountain Standard Time. But I will put up these pictures if you are online watching us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here. And I say us because Penelope, my producer, has helped me so much with everything that you're seeing here in the show. And she had a few points. She fell in love with this retreat also because it is set in a private luxury mansion. The retreat blends playful resort style amenities, a lazy river, water slides, a hidden bar, and a putting green, which is a la Scottsdale, isn't it? With intimate spaces for connection. The programming includes hypnotherapy, sound baths, yoga, bar, desert hikes, essential oil workshops, Reiki, and even a creative mobile hat bar. And I know what this is because it is very popular here in Arizona. Let's see if they have a picture of that on the website anywhere. Well, that food looks stunning. And they do talk about the meals are fully included and prepared by a chef featured on Food Network. So they are indulgent and nourishing. Don't they look indulgent and nourishing? My favorite thing about retreating is being fed. I can't help it. I like to eat. But what really stands out to me is the environment itself. It's really part of the experience. The desert setting, the luxury, the thoughtful design support both relaxation and emotional calibration. It's a perfect example of a place actively shaping the retreat, not just serving as a backdrop. I would love to go on this retreat. Now for the path to your breakthrough. Here's how we'll spend our time. Meals prepared by our amazing chef, a Food Network competitor who has appeared on The Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay and Supermarket Stakeout. 4 to 6 hypnotherapy sessions and workshop to overcome obstacles that are holding you back. Create inner peace and self-confidence and find real happiness and growth. I am prepared to embark on a transformative journey unlike anything you've experienced before. In this exclusive workshop, you'll gain powerful insights from a highly respected medical practitioner on unlocking vitality, longevity, and cellular renewal. Something that will elevate your energy, mental and physical health, anti-aging, elimination of pain, disease prevention, healthy weight loss, healing, enhanced healing, and even more than you can imagine. You'll walk away not only with a new understanding of your body's potential, but with something more, something that will elevate your energy, clarity, and well-being in a way you never imagined. They go on to talk about guided hikes, healing sound baths, essential oil workshops, yoga and Reiki. It sounds like a really magnificent retreat. I'm trying to see quickly if I can find the price. Okay, secure your spot today. For 4,550 USD, a very intimate group of only 15 women, 11 private king bedrooms with private bath, 400 or $4,550 for a single room. The next option is for $4,050, a very intimate group of only 15 women, 4 spots, 1 dual king bedroom, 1 dual queen bedroom with private bath. So it is a double room, although you do get either a king bed or a queen bed. Thank you for joining us today on Retreat News and Reviews. I enjoyed going over both of those. The story about the retreat center up in the Pacific Northwest and this one down here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Both of them relying heavily on their environment. Some places work on you quietly and other places crack something wide open. And if you've ever returned from a getaway and thought about that shift in you, something brightened, something made life worth living again. You can go back to that job. You can go back to the grind because you had transformation. Even if you're not quite sure what it was. That is the subtle power of the environment at work. Like I said, we often think as the location is just a backdrop and we rent a beautiful villa or a boutique hotel or a fabulous Airbnb. The true environment plays a huge part in your retreat or on any type of getaway. Certain places know things. They hold a history. We learn their stories. We feel their energy. And they influence how you think and how you are feeling and how open you are to change. This is why environment is everything and why where you go often matters more than you might think. When we plan retreats, we start with the vision, the transformation that we want our guests to have. The location comes next. Think of it as the cherry on top. It's that piece that amplifies the entire experience. It's a total pillar of the retreat. You look for the place to fit the retreat. Is it a place that energizes you, or is it a place that holds you while you rest? And then there's those places that crack you wide open. And a few of those that stand out to me when I say that is Sedona, Morocco, Bali. These places have blown my. I definitely felt that transition on the way home. There's so many other places too. This last trip I just went to Dominican Republic. Definitely felt like a very sacred land, like desert sunrises. Quiet, it will really make you pause. Hidden garden tucked behind a villa. There were so many amazing little spots like that at the writer's retreat that I went to. So many places you could go off and write. I loved it. Or even a bustling city that nudges creativity, curiosity, and ambition. It really gets you going. And your nervous system totally notices. Your mind opens and your habits loosen. And when you leave, you don't just return home, you return with a new lens on life. That is the hidden power of place. When you let that place work on you, transformation happens naturally, effortlessly, and often unexpectedly, like it did to me in the Dominican Republic. I really was not very excited about this retreat, to tell you the truth, and I hate to say that. I was excited about getting a new country stamp on my passport, and I knew that the retreat center would be beautiful, but I hadn't even began to imagine the magic of the place. Wow. It blew my mind, gave me so many creative ideas, and really fired me up while keeping me rested. Who could ask for anything more? And if you like exploring why places change us, you will want to check in next when we talk about what being guided actually gives you. This episode isn't about being taught. It's about being held. We'll talk about the invisible support of good retreat leadership and why having someone guide you gives you the opportunity to relax really deeply into the experience. It's a perfect follow-up because it is the place and the people guiding you and working together to create something truly transformative. And again, before we leave, don't forget to like or subscribe to the show. It really helps out the algorithm. It really helps out the algorithm, and we appreciate you so much. Of course, we would love to hear from you in the comments. If you have something to say about this episode, please tell us in the comments. We would love to hear it. I hope you have a fabulous week filled with curiosity and fun, and maybe a little intentional retreating, even if it is in your own backyard. Keep retreating, keep exploring, and we will see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye. And for those of you on YouTube who can actually see my shirt, isn't it the cutest? We will put a link in the description to our Etsy shop where you can order one of these for yourself, for your retreat leader. It's a perfect gift.